So you can still reload for the 7.65 Mauser. It's a little pricey. Components, I mean, powder and primers, those aren't really a big deal because these run large rifle primers like the 308 and 30-06. So no unique primers there. And powder, you know, pretty much it can run just about any type of powder. I mean, IMR 30-31. So, I mean, yeah, it's not as common as 308, but you can still reload for it if you're wanting to put the time in. You know, you can still reload for it quite a bit. Rifles might be a different story, though. We have a 1909 Argentine Mauser. You can still find those. Semi-automatics in the 7.65x53, I don't think there, to my knowledge, I don't think there was a whole lot of them in this caliber. The most notable one that comes to mind to me is the FN49 that was made by the Belgians. So yeah, you can still find a semi-automatic 7.65x53. I've seen them for sale, but they're a bit pricey, and store-bought ammo for them, you know, you got preview partisan, so you're good there. But I don't know how reloads through a 7.65 semi-auto would fare. As per my experience goes with these two, I've had great experience with them. As I said, I've had a ton of surplus ammo for the 7.65, and 308 is affordable. I can afford it to shoot it. In my experience, both of these are really good for hunting. My dad's used 7.65s to hunt before, and I've used 308 to hunt with quite a bit. It's actually, the M1A is my go-to deer rifle. I've seen 7.65x53. You know, as similar as the two cartridges are to one another, you would really think that they wouldn't perform much different. But I've seen 7.65x53 do things that 308 and 7.62x51 won't do. I have seen 7.65x53 pick up a propane tank before. We was shooting out at my buddy Sparrow's place before he moved. This was back in October 2015. I remember it like yesterday because we had a really fun day that day. But we had other friends come over. My buddy Mason, he wanted to shoot the 7.65 Mauser, so I was like, okay, yeah, go ahead for it, buddy. You know, I gave him a shell and he loaded it up, and he aimed at one of their little red propane tanks. I say little, but really, just imagine like the white propane tanks on a gas grill, but not quite as big, kind of like a medium-sized version of one of those. And he hit it with one of these 7.65x53mm. It was a surplus round, and it picked that red propane tank up and threw it into the air, and if somebody had been standing down there, it would have went over their head. Yeah. I've seen this cartridge absolutely just take stuff, inanimate objects, and throw them into the air and just destroy them. I've seen 308 do it too, but you only see that happen about maybe 2 or 3 times, give or take, when you're out. With the 7.65x53 Mauser, you could see that just about any other round. It's wild how much more energy this 7.65x53 has over 308. And I mean, sure, some of you are probably like, well, yeah, it's a bigger cartridge shooting a bigger bullet. But if you look at them up close, you know, like really up close, you know, stand them up end on my finger here, there's really just a few minor differences between them. It's just that 7.65x53 has a little bit longer case and a little bit bigger bullet, but other than that, they're almost about the same size. Of course, 308 has broader shoulders there on the case neck. Has broader shoulders there on the case, and it has a longer case neck. 7.65 has a shorter neck and shorter shoulders. But yeah, there's a lot of I mean, there's a lot of similarities there, but they almost have the same length, and they both shoot a 30 caliber bullet. But the energy downrange between the two is phenomenal with the 7.65. I'm not saying 308 is not phenomenal. 308, I've seen 308 pick up Mountain Dew cans and stuff and destroy them, especially on deer out to 200 yards. Hell, I've dropped deer out to 200 yards with that M1A all day long. Killed one the year before last, 2016, November 2016. I killed a deer out to 200 with the M1A. I don't think, well, I didn't film it, but we did get the deer meat that year from it. So, I mean, yeah, both of them have a lot of potential. It's just that I've seen 7.65x53 do a whole lot more damage. So, you know, in order to keep this video from being much longer, I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up and say both of them are really good cartridges, both the 7.65 and the 308. Although if I had to choose one, though, you know, for survival or something, I think I'd go definitely with the 308. Simply because 7.65 is not common at all. I have not seen 7.65x53mm in store shelves anywhere, ever, in person. I've seen reloading components for it on shelves and stuff before, but not, you know, huge boxes of ammo. I mean, I go to Cabela's or something, or Dunham's, I see 308, you know, stacked on shelves like 7 rows deep and, you know, like 8 rows across. 308's everywhere. 7.65x53, on the other hand, no. But it's still viable. It's not as popular as 308 or some of the other, you know, old, or like, let's just say 1890s cartridges like 7.65 or 7.62x54R, 8mm Mauser, you know, 30-06. It ain't as popular as some of those 30-06s. 1906, you know. But I just throwing that in there. But it's not as popular as those. It doesn't have the commonality that, say, like 8mm and the 7.62x54 does. But you can find components for it, and you can still buy loaded shells from Privy Partisan and stuff, and you can reload for it. So it ain't completely extinct. It's just not as common as some of these other cartridges, especially some other cartridges from its own time and era. Like, you know, I've already said it, the 7.62x54R, that's still kicking pretty hard today. It's actually the only rimmed cartridge still in service with the military, and that's Russia. But either way, I give both of them a good thumbs up. I've had nothing but good experience with both of them. But, you know, 308's more common, but you can still do some stuff with 7.65. And if you needed to load for it and stuff, I mean, you can still find an old 1909 Argentine Mauser. You can still get brass and bullets and powder and primer. That's just common because it takes a large rifle primer. Well, anyway, I figured I'd do this little comparison between the two. Mostly just more talked about 7.65x53 because a viewer asked me way back when I was still sick to do a video about the 7.65x53 versus 308, and I just didn't get to it, and I've been wanting to do this comparison for quite a while now, and I'm just, you know, it slipped my mind, and I've had other stuff come up, and this is the one video I feel like I did it right, because the other videos I just felt like I got too much incorrect. So, I mean, I'm gonna, you know, I feel like I'm good this time. Well, anyway, subscribe, rate, and comment, guys, if you're new. Thanks for sticking with me if you've been around for a while. I now have 641 subscribers. I cannot believe it. Never thought in 1,000 years I'd get this many subscribers. Honestly, I thought the most I'd ever get was maybe 200. But, I mean, I've got 600 subscribers, and I keep getting them every day. So thank you guys. I'll see you all in the next video. Look at all that brass. 7.65 Norma brass. I got a few reloads there. And this is all 308 brass. Yeah. I've shot both of them a lot. And I got a lot of brass to reload. Yeah.